We're streaming. Right? Yeah, we're I just want to know that we're going to have support. Looks like my stuff is down.
Okay, get on the YouTube. Are we got anything up?
I'm not seeing.
I just got a notification.
See anything. Kootenai 4-H. Doesn't show anything live.
Says we're going.
Huh?
Says we're going.
I know. I'm not seeing nothing on here.
No, it's there. It's there.
Perfect. Yes.
Yes, this way. So it needs to come this way. Okay, fill the shot with it. We need to fill the shot. Come in.
There you go. Okay. It's not on. Do we have the ability to go live?
Yeah, we do.
Ours?
That's what I'm checking. Sometimes they're super late in posting shit. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get the show started, and if we get this thing rocking and rolling, we're gonna just
hold on. I got it. One more thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That way with the
I have
banner.
to start at 8:30. I can't make it that long.
I understand. You got 3 minutes.
Yep, I know. That's what I'm just giving you time.
Need the stream to pop up so we can hear it. So it's going on. Okay, that box, if you can close it up and give it here, I need to boost it. We'll give it just a little bit. The other cameras aren't placed yet. Oh, that's why. Here we go. You ready? We're going to go public.
Yep.
And that should publish it.
Boom! We got it.
Boom!
Heck yes.
I'm going to go put that on my Facebook that we're staying here, right?
Yeah, I'm staying here. I got to run this.
And then I got to look at that show banner. David?
No, I know. Yeah, I'm staying here. I got to run this. Stop. No, I know. Stop.
I don't know if it's on, I might have it down.
You just need to wait 1 minute. You can go. We got bad audio. We're grabbing audio off this.
I'll say just kill the auto on this.
I'm working on
Oh,
this.
okay, I got
Just
you.
let
I
me.
got you. I'm just gonna make a couple announcements. Am I good to make a couple announcements?
All right, everybody. So, thank you for bearing with us. I know that we took an extra bit of time that I was not truly intending on, but the reason why we took the extra amount of time is one, we wanted to make sure that we got everyone over here on the clerk table set up. But the other big reason that we took the extra amount of time is for those of you guys that may have family members, friends, or individuals that could not have made it to the show today. The show is being live streamed right now. We have a camera here that is set up over on the side here that this entire show is going to be published on YouTube. I just sent the link to all of the group leaders. So there's a group leader chat. That link just got sent there. Also, underneath the class list in that middle kiosk, there's a QR code that you can scan. So if you have individuals at home that really wanted to be here to watch the show today, we would love for you to go ahead and share that with them so they have that opportunity to go and watch it. But now that we got that set up and everything's ready to go, we're going to get this show rocking and rolling. So, we're going to go ahead and do a couple things. We're going to go ahead and those Class 1 individuals, this is your 10-minute warning. Class 1, if you guys want to start making your way to the holding pens, we're going to get this show started. While they're making their way to the show ring, we're going to go ahead and handle a couple announcements. We're going to do a pledge, and we're going to get this show started off right.
So I don't see a flag anywhere. But, so let's all stand for the pledge. We'll just face the center of the room. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. To the republic, and the nation, indivisible, and justice for all. Let's get ready to show some pics. And just a reminder, let's get Class 1 on its way to the holding pen. Littlefield Livestock. He raises and sells show pigs there. He's had quite a bit of success on the county and state level. Brady is a salesman for Calmback Feeds and spends a lot of his time traveling the country, judging livestock shows, and I think he might throw a little hunting in there too.
Alrighty, well, good morning, guys. I think a great way here to start off this show is with these pigs. There's one bear out here that, man, I wish he was a little heavier here and made it further down. The young lady's belted barrel right there. I think that's a very nice pig. I know we don't have to place these, but I think that one's worth mentioning. I think that's a very highly presented pig that looks very crisp and ready to go today. We just wish he was a little better. But on down the line, I think this is a nice set of hogs here. Excited to see what comes out here in these next few classes. Give all these kids a round of applause.
Class 2, you should be pinned up and ready to go. Last call for Class 2. First call for Class 3. Start making your way to the pins. First call, Class 3. Second call for Class 3. Final call, Class 3.
I think a good class here to start off with. I think a little bit more of a challenging decision, but I think the gilt that kind of puts the most together here, that's the best built and then has the most substance and just goes with the most comfort and ease is the young man's blue butt gilt here for me. That one from her build and design is just the best out here in the class. She's tall and elevated at the point of her shoulder. She's long and level in her back and really good out of her hip and hind leg. And then when you get her coming and going, she's still big and bold in her chest and big backed and stout hipped and got enough muscle shape for where we're at in these lighter weight classes. I like that one to win the class. The challenging one here is the black gilt in second. A highly presented, big rib, stout made one. It's just when we get her out on the move. She gets a little shorter and quicker out of her hip, a little tighter in her ham loin junction, and just doesn't quite reach and go with that hock as flexible as I'd like to see. But I tell you what, if you want one with a big back and a big rib cage, she's definitely got the advantage there. The black barrow we bring out here in third. You love that one from the side. That thing from the side is the tallest and most neat looking up there. But it's just when he comes right at you. When that barrow comes at you, he's as skinny and narrow as me. He just has no chest floor. He's got no base width. He's got no muscle. But still a very highly presented. Kid does an awesome job. Give that young man a round of applause. We bring this blue-eyed gelded out here in fourth, and that one's another big-legged, stout-made one. We just need to clean her up about her jowl, give her a little bit more in terms of her rib cage. A nice pig there to be fourth. We bring the blue gild out next here. That's a shapely, lean, long-made one that just gets too dry in the center portion of her body. She needs to be dropped in terms of her flank. She's just kind of flatter in terms of her rib shape, but still a nice high cutability type of hog to be down the line. On down the line here, we got hogs that just need some more muscle shape, a little bit more feature. Still high-quality hogs here that definitely have a little bit of rib cage and a little bit of growth to them. Give all these kids a round of applause. A real good way to start off the show here with a nice class.
First call, class 4. First call, class 4. Second call, class 4. Second call, class 4.
I think a pair of gilts here that I think are very similar yet different. Both of them I think are very highly presented, very good-looking gilts. Both of them I think are not perfect in terms of how their hip and hind leg is designed. But I think both of them are good enough there. For me today, there's one that's just a little bigger chest and a little bigger pin going away from you. Young lady's gilt right here, I think when that thing comes at you, she wins this class. She's got the biggest and most busted open in terms of her chest floor, and then she reads back into a big old back and a fresh rib cage there. Still just a very, very good gilt there that's highly presented. The young lady's gilt here that comes second. That one from the side, she might be a little better. She's a little deeper bodied. She's tall and elevated there at the point of her shoulder. She's actually the bigger legged, stouter made gilt. But it's when she comes and goes that she just wants to close up both her chest floor and when she goes straight away from you. And being that both of them aren't quite perfect on that hip and hind leg, for me today, she just needs to be more busted open. But still two very high quality, very good gilts there to be first and second. Give both those kids a round of applause. We bring that young man's gilt out here in third, and I tell you what, from the side, that is a tall-looking, shapely one. Highly, highly presented. For me today, she's just a nickel longer bodied, and she's too flat and dry in terms of her rib cage, but still a very nice gilt there to be third. So I would keep your head up on that one. You've done a heck of a job feeding that. Give that kid a round of applause. Barrow here that comes out in fourth, I think that's a very neat made barrow that's just a little too past his prime. He needs a little more shape, a little bit neater look to him, but still a very good built, stout, dense made type of barrow. On down the line here, we got some pigs that are fighting a little bit of structure issues. Big and bold in terms of their rib cage, still an easy feeding type barrows here. The next two, and then the two down the line just need more stoutness and more muscle, but still very good group of pigs here. Give these exhibits a round of applause.
First call, class 6. First call, Class 6. First call, Class 5. That's 5. First call, Class 5. And attention showmen, as you make your way to the exhibitor pen, be prepared to give them your name and your exhibitor number. Those are two things you should know. When you get there, be ready to give your name and your exhibitor number. Second call, Class 5. Make your way over there, Class 5.
Well, I think another very good class here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the young ladies' calico gilt. I think that's the one that's the best in terms for build and design. As from the side, I love that one. She's tall, she's elevated at the front part of her shoulder there. She's neat looking. She's big and bold in her back. She's good off of her hip and hind leg. That's where she beats the gilt. It's going to be in second. I think that gilt in second. I think that one is a very, very neat creature. Today it looks like she probably just a little bit of an injury here. Probably getting off the trailer or something. She's got a slight limp there out of her hind me today. She just doesn't quite go good enough. But I tell you what, that is a big back, big legged, neat looking one. That man, if she could get out and go today, I think we'd be in pretty good shape. The gilt in third, that's the big ribbed, big bold bodied one. She just gets a little frailer in terms of her feature, a little closed up at her knee when she comes right at you, but still a very nice gilt to go ahead and be third. On down the line here, that barrel that comes out in fourth, man, I tell you what, you want a big, bold, centered one, there he is. For me today, he's just a little bigger and staler about his head and neck, a little waxy back to his flank there, but still a very nice barrel with big pieces. We bring that barrel out next. I think that's a nice barrel that's highly presented. He's got a little bit of goofy stuff going on there with his front feet, but I think still a nice barrel there to go ahead and be down that line. On down the line, I think we have three very, very nice pigs. We just need to add some muscle shape, need to clean them up in terms of their jowl, and make them a little bigger and bolder coming and going. But I think still a very nice class. Let's give all these kids a round of applause.
Got first call, class number 6, for real this time. First call, class number 6. Second call, class 6. Class 6, second call. So coming back from Class 2, we have Carson Hunter and Caden Oxenrider coming back from Class 2.
I think a very logical, easy place to start here is with the young ladies' calico gilt. I think that one's hands down easily the best one out here in terms of her build and design, and yet she's big and stout in terms of her skull and equally stout in terms of her bone work. Big square and up on her toes, and when she comes and goes, that one's got a big chest and a big hip and hind leg. I like that one pretty well. I think a very good place there to start. I think for second and third, it gets a little tighter. The young man's gilt here, I think she's just a better built, better bodied one. She's got a little neater look there to her front end, a little more attractive on how she uses her hip and hind leg, and yet still bigger and bolder in terms of her rib cage. I think that's a nice gilt to be second. I think the young man's gilt here that goes third, I think that one probably is a little further along. She's a little bigger in terms of her bone work. She's a little bit staler, though, about her jaw and neck, and just gets a little rounder out of her hip and hind leg. But I think still a nice gilt to go ahead and be third. The pig we bring out here next, I like that one from a body and stoutness standpoint. I mean, that is a big rib, big back, stout hip one. She just gets a little too soft and flat up there on her front feet for me. Gets a little shorter and squattier there, and gets a little wastier back in terms of her flank, but still a big ribbed, easy doing type of gilt there. On down the line there, we got 4 hogs that I think are higher cutability hogs that just need to be stouter in terms of their feature, bigger and bolder in their rib cage, but still nice, practical doing type of hogs for these kids. Give all these kids a round of applause. Very, very good class there.
First call, Class 7. Class 7 start making your Second call, Class 7. Second call, Class 7. Last call, Class 7. Should be in there. Should be in the chutes by now. Class 7.
I tell you what, we turned the heat up in this class because I think all three of these gilts are very, very good in their own rights. I wouldn't argue with you if you want to sort these three any which direction. I think all of them have parts of them that I think are better than the others, and I think all of them have faults. For me, though, there's one that, man, when they hit the ring, I thought that thing is really, really neat. That thing is big-chested. That thing runs straight uphill. That thing's got an awesome, awesome look. Big back. Good enough hip and hind leg for me. I wish she took just a little bit longer stride. Once we kind of got her out here in this final here and got her going, she kind of quit getting a little herky-jerky there off her front end. We got the young man relaxed a little bit more on the whip here, but that blue gilt's going to go ahead and win this class. I think for second and third, it gets a lot tighter here. We got two black gilts that I like quite well. One of them, man, I tell you what, whoever's back there getting this one ready has put a big, big back in her because that thing's back is massive, massive. Her hip and hind leg's not quite perfect. She gets a little shorter and round off both ends of her skeleton, and she gets a little closed up. And then we got a gilt over here that, man, if we could fix that one in terms of her jaw, I think that one right there in her jaw and neck, if she's a little sleeker, a little neater looking, I think that one can go ahead and win this class. That's why for me today, she's stout enough, she's sound enough. Young lady over there in the corner is going to be second. Young lady right here is going to be third. We bring that barrow out here in fourth, and I think that barrow, I mean, he could have competed right there first and second in several of the classes on here before this class. You got in a really tough class. That's a really nice barrow to go be fourth there. That's a big, stout, heavy-duty one that just ran into some really good pigs ahead of you. We bring that barrow out next. I tell you what, from the side, that one's really neat in terms of his build design. He's tall and elevated at the point of his shoulder. He's neat looking about his jaw. He's awesome in terms of his hip and hind leg. It's just when he comes and goes, he just kind of disappears. We need to bust him open at both the top and bottom side of the skeleton, give him a shot more muscle shape, and that could be a really, really nice pig. The gilt we bring out next, that's one that is heavy duty in terms of her structure. She's big back, she's shapely. She just needs to be fixed in terms of her structure. She's a little too straight, pushed forward in the angle of her blade, takes just a short little step out of there, and just a little rounder and steeper out of her hip. But still a nice gilt to go ahead and be down the line there. On down the line here, the Calico Bear was a big rib, stout made one. We just got to get him a little fresher and bust him open the bottom side of the skeleton. Wants to close up in his knee there, and wants to close up just when he goes away. The bear we bring out next, that one just gets a little staler and older for me. He's just a little staler in his makeup. He's not quite as fresh and crisp in terms of his back shape. Gets a little staler down in terms of his lower portion of his body there, but still a nice bear to round out this class. Very good class of pigs. Give all these exhibitors a round of applause.
First call, Class 8. Class 8, make your way to the pin. First call, Class 8. I have some more results for you. Coming back from Class 3 will be Cadence Teal and Riley R8, Harriet. Class 4, Hazel Zentner. Marina Hotel. Coming back in Class 5, we have Samantha Spraker, Bryson Hunter. Coming back in Class 6, we have Andrew Nicholson and Addison Forsey. And Paisley Bardwell. Second call, Class 8. Second call, Class 8.
Man, I tell you guys what, I thought the last class was tough, and I've been thinking the entire time here that man, people ringside got to be thinking you got to bring a gilt at me. But I tell you what, we changed that real fast with that Calico barrel racer. I think that's one unique creature. He's going to go ahead and win this class, and I think he wins this class for fun. That thing is super, super good built from the side, and then when you drive that thing at you, that's as big chested and big back, and a big old square hip and hind leg as we've had all day. I like that pig quite a bit. Give that young lady a round of applause. We bring that belted barrow out here in second, and I tell you what, that one would have done very well in some other classes. That is a big back, shapely, fresh, highly, highly presented barrow to be second. For me today, he's just not quite good enough out of his hip and hind leg. It's a little shorter, steeper out of there, pinches a little bit in his ham one junction. I just need him to take a longer, more fluid stride. So that's a very nice barrow to be second behind a very, very good one. Give that young lady a round of applause as well. The gilt we bring out here in third, another one from the side, really good in terms of her build and design. It's just when she comes and goes compared to the two ahead of her, she's just not nearly busted open enough. She gives up too much muscle shape, but still a very nice gilt to be in third. On down the line here, we have another black barrow here that's very, very highly presented. Young lady does a great job driving that one. He just ran into some really good competition here ahead of her. On down the line here, we got some pigs that the first next couple just need a little bit more crispness and muscle shape. They get a little plainer in terms of their muscle, a little staler about their jowl. And then the two gilts that round out the class, we just need to fix them in terms of their structure and make them bigger and bolder in terms of the rib cage. They just get a little drier and flatter there. But still, a very, very good class. Definitely turning the heat up around here. Give all these exhibitors a round of applause.
First call, Class 9. Class 9, make your way to the sheets. Class 9, first call. Also wanted to let you know that the backdrop for photo opportunities is along the south wall. For those of you who were here last year, we're in the same spot. Backdrops on the south wall. Get your pictures later. Second call, class 9. Second call, class 9.
I think two very high quality gilts we got here. Today you just got to kind of decide between these two which one you're more comfortable with on her feet and legs. For me today, the Calico here is going to go ahead and win this class. I think from a build and design standpoint, that one is really, really good. She's good in all of her angles, and then when she comes and goes, she's the one that stays the squarest and the most comfortable for me. And yet she's still big and bold in terms of her chest, big in her back, and stout out of her hip. I tell you what, though, this belted gilt here, the young lady does an absolutely phenomenal job driving it. That thing's skin and hair is presented to the max. She did everything in her power to keep me from looking at that one going straight away. And she's very smart, too, because I tell you what, it wasn't until that moment that I was 100% decided. She just doesn't go comfortable enough out of there for me. We fixed that on that one, and that one wins this class for fun. You do a really nice job driving that. Two nice gilts there to go first and second. We bring those next three gilts out, and I think all three of them are very similar built. They're all big and stout in terms of their structure. They're all big and fresh in terms of their back. We just need to fix them in terms of their structure. They get a little push forward in the angle of their shoulder, a little shorter and quicker out of their hip and hind leg, and want to come in at their knee and come in when they go straight away. But I think still very three high cutability type gilts. Very nice places to be there in that class. On down the line here, we got pigs that just need to be a little bolder in terms of their rib cage, a little fresher, and just need to be fixed in terms of their structure. But I think a very nice class. Give all these young exhibitors a round of applause.
First call, class 10. Class 10, make your way over. Exhibitor number when you get there. Class 10 to the chutes. Second call, Class 10. Class 10, get over there. Second call, Class 10. Last call, Class 10. Last call, Class 10.
We got a pair of belted barrows here that I think are very, very similar. In fact, I think they're so similar they might even be litter mates here. Both of them are really probably a nickel too long bodied for me. They both get a little bit softer on their front feet, and both of them are a little softer in terms of their rib cage. But I tell you what, you get beyond that, both these barrows are very, very good. They're both very neat looking, they're both shapely backed, and they're both athletic. But for me, there's one that, man, the young lady drives the absolute wheels off of this thing, and since he hit the ring, he's looked highly, highly presented and absolutely perfect the entire time. This belted barrow right here, you shorten that one up, that's a way good one. The other belted barrow here, I think that thing, he would run with the other barrow. He's just a little bit too far past his prime. He's a little staler in terms of his head and neck there. He's not quite as shapely and fresh in terms of his back shape, and he's the one that gets a lot more wasty back there through his lower 1/3, but still a very nice barrow there to be second. The one that I actually like the proportions on the best from the side is the blue barrow here that's going to go third. I think that one's very, very good in terms of proportions. He's good in terms of his hip and hind leg. It's just when that one comes and goes, he's just too narrow. We need to bust him open, need to give him more shape and expression up high, but still a very nice barrow to be third. We bring out that black barrow in fourth there. I tell you what, if we could turn back time, I bet that one was a unique creature about a month ago. He's a big-legged, stout-made one that's really neat in terms of his build and design. Today, he's just too cresty about his neck, too plain in terms of his jowl, and he's just starting to get a little plain in terms of his back shape. Looks like we probably had to hold on that one a little bit, but still a very good barrow to be fourth. On down the line here, we got some pigs that I think are very nice. The two belted ones that come out are both highly presented, good made hogs. We just got to freshen them up in terms of their shape. The two pigs here rounding out the class, we got to fix them a little bit in terms of their structure, give them a little bit more muscle shape, and give the gilt that rounds out the class a shot more rib shape. It's still a very good class of pigs. Give all these exhibitors a round of applause.
First call, Class 11. Class 11, make your way over to the chutes. First call, Class 11.
All right, for all my swine exhibitors, I just want to make a quick announcement for what's going to happen in the final drive later this afternoon, or once the hog show here, we get through all of our classes, because we've had some questions. All of our purple individuals, so if you received a purple in your class, you will need to be ready for the final drive. What we will be doing is we will be bringing back the class winners, and we'll start there, and from then, we'll go ahead and pull up our seconds, potentially thirds, and far down as we need to create our top four and our sale order. So if you receive a purple, just make sure that you are ready for the final drive. Do not come to the show ring, do not come at all. What we need to do is just be ready, and we will call you at that point in time. Thank you.
I have some more results from you. Coming back from class number 7, we have Claire Kelly. And I believe that Claire Kelly will be bringing 2 hogs back from class 7. And class number 8 coming back for the finals will be Piper Besch and Parker Rosenberger. And coming back from class number 9 will be Dylan Lovett and Ellie Berger. Second call, class number 11.
I think a real logical place to start here is with the young lady's belted gilt. I think that one is the best in terms of her build and design from the side. She's comfortable and athletic on the go, and yet when she comes and goes, she's definitely got enough in terms of chest and back and hip. I like that one pretty well to go ahead and win this class. The Black Barrow here in second, I tell you what, that one, if he wasn't a little past his prime, he gets a little soft in terms of all four of his feet. He's starting to push a little bit on his hock, and he's getting a little staler about his head and neck. But that is a big back, stout-made one that, man, if we could turn back time just a little bit, I think could be better in terms of his legs there. But still a very nice pick to go ahead and be second that class. The blue gilt we bring out third. That's the challenging one. She's really good in terms of her build and design. She's neat and fresh about her head and neck. I just got to stouten her up in her features. She gets too fine and frail in terms of her feet and legs. Need to bust her open when she goes straight away from me, but still a nice gilt there to be third. On down the line here, the two belted ones that come out next. The Barrows just gets a little staler in terms of his head and neck. We got to fix him in terms of his hip and hind leg. Gets a little rounder and shorter out of his hip. The gilt we got to stouten up. She just needs to be bigger in terms of her feature. She gets a little rounder out of her hip and hind leg. Needs to be bolder in terms of her rib cage. The blue Barrow next. I tell you what, if that one didn't have a limp, he'd be a little further up. Nice pig to go ahead and be down that class. The two that round out the class, we just got to stouten up and give them more shape and expression of muscle. But still a nice group of kids in this class. Nice group of pigs. Give these kids a round of applause.
First call, class 12. Class 12, make your way to the chutes. First call, class 12. Second call, class 12. Second call, class 12.
I think a very logical, easy place to start here is with the young lady's belted barrel. I mean, you talk about one that is so stout and dense in terms of his bone work, and yet really, really fresh in terms of his head and neck and his body. That is a big back, big hip, stout skulled, big footed rascal right there. That's a pretty nice pig to go ahead and win this class. I think the Calico Gilt in her own right, she's going to be second. I think that one's just a fault-free type of hog. It's just very good in terms of her build and design. I would like to stouten that one up in her feature a little bit. She gets a little smaller in her ankle, and I do want to make her a little bit bigger both coming and going. But I think a very, very nice gilt to be second behind a very good barrel. The barrel here in third, I like that one quite a bit. That's why I waited for him to get out of the corner. Young lady does an awesome job driving him. I'm not sure why he decided to be a jerk here when we decided to bring him out. But that's a very nice barrel, shapely, good looking. Today he just got outpowered, and once he got back out here, I know he was fighting me a little bit, but he does want to throw that hind leg just a little bit. But a very nice barrel to be third. We bring that blue-eyed gilt there in fourth out. I tell you what, from the side, that one is very, very good in terms of her build and design. Tall and elevated at the point of her shoulder, level in her back, awesome hip and hind leg. It's just when she comes and goes, you just lose her. She just doesn't have enough. She needs to be busted open. She needs to have more muscle shape right there in terms of her skeleton, but a very nice pig to go ahead and be fourth in that class. The barrel we bring out next. Another very stout, heavy-duty type barrel. Big rib cage. Just gets a little plainer out of his head and neck there. Needs to be shaped a little more crisp out of the top of his shoulder there, but still a nice pig. On down the line, we got pigs here that just need to be bigger and bolder in their rib cage. Need to fix them in terms of their structure a little bit, but still three very nice pigs to round out this class. Let's give all these kids a round of applause.
We got first call for class 13. Make your way to the chutes.